Hello, my name is Chris and today I'd like to talk to you about the effects of smoking and quitting smoking on our blood circulation. I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the awful damage that we can do to our circulation as a result of smoking and all the things that can go wrong if we continue to smoke, but why we can take the power back, choose to quit, and as soon as we quit smoking, these magical healing bodies of ours get to work on healing and cleaning and repairing, and before we know it, our circulation starts to improve and we get so many benefits. Before I get into talking about blood circulation, however, I just wanted to stop and say thank you so much to everybody who came to spend time with me on the live stream hangout this past Saturday. I really had a wonderful time getting to talk with you all. Many of you for the first time, it was like the first proper conversation we'd had together. I had a great time answering your questions, so much so that I'd like to do it again. So I've scheduled another live stream for Saturday, March 27th, again at 6:30 p.m. UK time. I know some people have left comments to say they were disappointed that they didn't even know the last stream was happening. So if you stick around till the end of this video, I'll talk a little bit more about the next live stream and how you can be sure that you don't miss it, because I really want you to come and say hello, and I'd love for you to be there. So we'll talk more about the live stream at the end of the video, but for now, let's talk about circulation and how it's affected by smoking and by quitting smoking. Now, for those of you who know me well, this is obvious, but if it's the first time that you and I have met, then I should point out that I'm not a medical professional, I'm not a doctor. So this is not medical advice. If there is anything that you are concerned about, please see a medical professional. And you can tell that I am not a doctor by the fact that I've spent most of this afternoon practicing how to say the phrase atherosclerosis. And to be honest with you, I'm still not entirely confident that I am saying atherosclerosis properly. What I am confident in is that it is awful. Atherosclerosis leads to a build-up of a substance called plaque on the artery walls, a plaque made up of fat and cholesterol and all kinds of just nasty stuff. This, the more plaque builds up, the harder it is for the blood to flow. In some cases, the blood might just stop altogether because it just can't get through. And this has all kinds of consequences, and this is caused by smoking, by the way. I don't think I said that. Atherosclerosis can be caused by many things, but one of the things it can be caused by is smoking. And as a result of these artery walls starting to harden, and starting to block up, we don't get proper blood flow to the extremities, we don't get blood flow up to the brain. At best, this can cause things like, sores and real bad pressure points. It can cause pain and discomfort in the legs, in the hips, in the pelvis. If you're walking to the shop or trying to do exercise to get the endorphins going and finding that you're in so much pain, that could be because there's not enough blood flow getting to those parts. Taking things to an extreme, this can be one of the causes of things like gangrene, and can be one of the reasons why some people who smoke and smoke and smoke and absolutely destroy themselves have to get their leg amputated. And that is awful. It becomes because we don't stop, and things get so severe that there's just no blood able to get to the legs because the arteries are completely blocked. The leg starts to decay and it needs to go. That is horrible, but it's only one of the many things that is affected by our smoking. Quitting's the way smoking also affects us, is it raises our blood pressure and it reduces the amount of oxygen in the blood. At best, this might make us unfocused, it might make us feel foggy and like we just can't concentrate. At worst, it can increase our risk of a stroke. We get, increased risk of heart attacks. If we try and do that exercise, we might not be hurting in our legs, but we'll certainly be out of breath much, much quicker. You take two people side by side who are both relatively same age, same level of general fitness, but one of them smokes and one of them doesn't, you will find that the non-smoker can last a lot longer and that the smoker is out of breath much, much quicker. And that's just kind of the tip of the iceberg about all the awful things that happens to our circulation. And the thing is, we do this to ourselves. None of these things, atherosclerosis, the increased blood pressure, the increased risk of a stroke, the pain, the gangrene, none of these things are an inevitable fact of life. They don't have to happen. When I talk in my other videos about smoking being an act of self-sabotage, this isn't just a cute phrase that I throw out there. When we smoke, we literally start to destroy ourselves. We do all kinds of awful damage to ourselves. But the good news is that if we are doing this to ourselves, then we can choose to stop whenever we want to. Because we are in control, we have the power, not the cigarettes. Therefore, we can choose. I am no longer going to absolutely destroy myself anymore. And when we do that, things start to get better almost immediately. When we quit smoking, our bodies start to reward us almost immediately. Within 24 hours of our last cigarette, our blood vessels, which had previously narrowed and contracted, start to open up again. And all that plaque and all those fatty deposits in our system start to dissipate so that the blood can start flowing a little better. This might be why sometimes you'll get those tingling feelings in the feet and the toes because the blood's coming, and it might not have come to that degree for some time. Within 24 hours, our blood pressure lowers and the level of oxygen in the blood returns to normal. Between 2 weeks and 3 months, our overall circulation will start to improve massively and we'll start to notice the benefits of it. We'll notice that we have more energy. We'll notice that we are out of breath a lot less easily. If you have taken up exercise, because exercise of any kind is one of the best things that you can do for yourself when quitting smoking, to get the endorphins going, to get all those good feelings going. If you've been doing that, you should start to notice, certainly by 3 months in, that you are starting to be better at it. Not necessarily at a skill level, but that you have more energy and you're not as exhausted as quickly. But I do want to point out that there is a big world of difference between 2 weeks and 3 months. And as far as I know, there is no way of pinpointing, okay, for you it's going to be 2 weeks, for you it's going to be 4 weeks, for you it's going to be 3 months. There is a big world of difference and it will happen as your body begins to heal and repair itself. I know that, anytime I mention a time frame, anytime I say, this might happen around day 3 or this might happen around 6 weeks, somebody will always leave me a comment and say that it didn't happen for them and be very angry at me like it's my fault. So between 2 and 3 months is a guide, it's the most common thing, but your body is a very, very unique thing and it will happen for you as you heal and repair. And the more that you do, to give your body that fighting chance of healing and repairing, the better the process will go. If you quit smoking and continue to, eat junk food and do no exercise and carry on pretty much as you were, then it's going to take a lot longer than someone who ups their vitamin intakes, who ups their vegetable and fruit intake. Fruit and vegetable, nobody ever says vegetable and fruit. Fruit and vegetable intake. Drinking more water, doing more exercise, things like that are going to help massively. I was actually reading something before I made this video, and researchers did this thing where they took a bunch of people who were smoking and a bunch of people who were not, and they gave both groups large doses of vitamin C. And in the smokers, it really helped their arteries, and it really helped their arteries to improve and repair. Now, they were given massive doses, not the kind that you're just going to get in, a single vitamin tablet, but it's got to help. And speaking of repairing, that is the amazing thing about it. I was also reading, our arteries harden and stiffen the more we smoke, but they don't stay like that. They start to become flexible again, they start to soften, all that plaque and awfulness starts to go away when we get that healthy state that we need. Now, this might take years. The thing I was reading said that it might take as long as 10 years for the arteries to get to the level of before we were smoking. But if you think about it, even that is quite amazing if you consider all the years and decades that we might have smoked, and it takes a relatively short period of time to get full recovery. And even if we don't get full recovery, we get plenty of recovery to give ourselves a second chance at life. So it's never too late for any of us. It's never too late to quit smoking. It's never too late to say, oh well, the damage is done and there's no going back, so I might as well carry on smoking. These things that we inhabit are amazing. Your body will start to do its very best to heal and clean and repair. And all you have to do in order for that to happen is to not smoke a cigarette. I appreciate that that is easier said than done. Trust me, that is why I'm here. But it can be done. I won't tell you that it is easy, but I will tell you that it is worth it. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope that's been helpful. I hope it's given you at least something to think about. I mentioned at the start that I'd touch more on the live stream that we're going to do Saturday, March 27th. It will be 6:30 p.m. UK time. I'll work out what time that is in like America and other countries and post that down. If you want to be sure that you don't miss it, if you like, oh no, I missed the last one and I was really upset, then there are a few ways that you can keep an eye on things. One is if you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. If you haven't yet subscribed, if you hit subscribe, what I will do is I'll not only mention it in my next videos, I'll also put a link to where the live stream is going to be on the community kind of social media aspect of YouTube, so that you will see it there. You can also follow my page on Facebook. I'm not massively active on Facebook, but I will post things like this. It is facebook.com/Chris Scoyles. I will post a link and all the information about the next live stream on there. Or you can join our group, which is facebook.com/groups/findingfreedom1. If I don't post it in there, then the group's wonderful moderator Vicky, I'm sure, will help me out and post a link so that you don't miss it. And when I do post a link, you can even set a reminder that will give you a notification. You know, if you click the link that I post, it'll ask you if you want to be reminded of when I go live, so that you absolutely won't miss it. Last thing, it wouldn't be a video if I didn't tell you about my book. It is called Quit Smoking and Be Happy. If you found this helpful, if you found any of my other videos helpful, you may well find this helpful too. And if you do, if you already have a copy of this, please head over to Amazon, consider leaving me a review. It really would mean a lot to me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you next time. Goodbye.